Hey everyone, Nils here and welcome back to the channel. So today my Mewtwo is gonna be level 200 coming out of the incubator and kinda want to test him out and see how well he does. Now again, the difference between him now and him in like the next 5 to 10 days is gonna be dramatically different. It's insane how the levels are scaling, especially the last 5 levels. This is basically where the biggest power spike lies. So you see right here, our Mewtwo is going to be level 200, 1.4 trillion. Now each level for the next 5 levels is going to give us 100 billion damage, and then all of a sudden you go from oops, it's not supposed to happen. So you go from this 2.4 trillion to 300 billion on every level, from 100 to 300 billion every level. So that's where the biggest power spike is going to end up being. However, I just want to see how our team fares now with the level 200 Mewtwo in. So let's go over to XYZ and grab him out of the incubator. Right, so here we are, and you see I have 4 levels. I actually incubated them for 4 entire days, and there you have it, level 200, 1.4 trillion. And if you compare him to the Clarent has 1.7. However, the Clarent has the tank, as opposed to him having the tactical 3, so in reality that would be 2.8 trillion, and it gives us a DPC of 224 billion, so with a tactical that would be 448, nearly 450 billion DPC just by himself. Just with our 2 best units we are basically going up to 496, however adding that extra 224 on top would be 720 billion with just 2 units, so we are looking pretty good. And if we go ahead over and equip our team, I think that should be pretty close to 1 trillion. So let's just go ahead first of all and equip up the Mewtwo and the Melio so we can determine what the bonus DPC from the tactical would be. And looks like it's 276 billion. So now we're gonna go ahead and equip our entire lineup. It should look something like this. It's kind of funny that I have the Collector 3 being stronger than the tank, but yeah, I opted on leveling this guy instead. And you see the difference is like barely noticeable, it's just 20 billion, and that's due to tank being so good with 65% damage increase. So any level would basically push the tank higher than this. Although I really like having the Collector even in the main lineup, doesn't really hurt that much. Like the extra damage from the tank, even if he was equal level to this guy, wouldn't make you push a different room. And keeping that Collector really adds up on the shards. So let's see our main lineups DPC right now. So that would be 745 billion, meaning if you add that 276 from the tactical modifiers, we have over a trillion DPC. And according to my maths, that would be 1.021 trillion. So 21 billion more, above 1 trillion, sorry. And what I want you guys to pay attention to right now is the door is still locked. Well, it's always locked, but there's no timer. Now, I was uncertain whether we're gonna have an update this week, but then I saw Direp's tweet that he dropped on Twitter regarding the hint, I guess, for the next anime. But I think we're gonna have a definitive answer in a few hours. So as of recording this, it's like 2:30 p.m. for me. So translating over to EST time, it should be 8:30 in the morning for EST. So I would assume that since every update is on 12 EST, in 3.5 hours from now, if we do have an update indeed, this should go to 72 hours. I think that's just my speculation, or maybe Direct just hasn't bothered with that. But I guess we'll find out soon, and yeah, our DPC is gonna skyrocket if we get a next update. Now we're getting on the territory with the very strong levels as well, above 200, especially next week after 205 is where DPC is gonna be skyrocketing with this Mewtwo. And time trial is about to start in 60 seconds, as you can see, so I'm gonna dive into it real quick, guys, and I'm gonna catch you soon. Now I'm gonna attempt to go as far as we could possibly can with Mewtwo. Hopefully this time without losing, so I can just bounce back to my main team, and I guess we can see how far does 1 trillion DPC take you into the time trial. So we are over at room 84, and at this point I'm gonna bring out our Mewtwo because collector lineup cannot carry anymore. So as for this run, we have been pretty unlucky so far. As you can see, we only have 168 shards in 84 rooms with full collector 3 lineup, and trust me, that's bad. But anyway, that doesn't really matter. Like, that always varies for run per run. It's not just the drop chance, like the rooms definitely affect the amount of shards that you're gonna end up farming. Like you see right now, this is a room with only 2 mobs. Compare this to a room with 10 mobs, and that's literally day and night, where you can get from 2, just like in the last room, assuming that you get from both, which we didn't, by the way, we only got from the boss, where we got 1 shard, where you can get to a room with 10 mobs where you can get up to like 7 shards. Usually when the RNG is decent, when there's 10 mob rooms, you get like 7, so just compare the difference, right? So that should always be something to consider. But my usual numbers are between 180 to 200 on every time trial, so it's always bounces up between there. So even though it's 172 right now, it will catch up, and you see no problems right now. Mewtwo is just killing everything, especially the bosses. The bosses are just straight up melting, like this now. He's just gonna touch him, and the second he casts his ultimate, he's gonna be dead. It's a pretty low room to cause any problems just yet, and I believe we can even solo the next room with just Mewtwo. Perhaps we might need to bring out the Clarent. I guess we're gonna find out. Depending on how the first room goes, we are gonna adjust accordingly, but I'm pretty sure that we can do this next 3 room with just the Mewtwo, and then we pull out the Clarent at room 92. So we'll see how it goes. And you see, this is what I was talking about, the RNG with rooms. Like, look at this, guys. Just 3 mobs in 1 room. This is not the run where you're gonna be farming shards. So luckily for us, we even have more than enough time to... Okay, that was supposed to happen. I was gonna say to solid gold it, but yeah, unfortunately I killed the boss, so we just get this one. And this is basically where the big yen is gonna come now on the next 2 rooms. If we manage to kill the next 2 bosses, we should be getting up to 3-4 quintillion for each boss. Or quadrillion rather, not quintillion. So let's hope for some good RNG. There we go, this is a good room. Now you see the boss just jumped from 1 quadrillion to 2 quadrillion. This is the scaling factor that the rooms have, which is pretty crazy. Like each and every subsequent room just has that much more HP, which just makes it that much harder to progress through time trial. That's why it's gonna take a while until room 120. Now, a lot of factors are gonna play part in that, depending if the level cap is gonna raise with the update. I would suspect that this update is not gonna raise the level cap, but who knows, maybe. The important thing is that he should never raise the cap again by 15 like he used to do. Like, increasing the level cap by 15 basically causes this unending loop where most people, average people, don't have a chance to catch up to top people, because top people are constantly incubating and you just cannot catch up. It's like an infinite loop. So in a sense, having only 10 levels helps without problem, since there is 14 days. So you're also a little bit more flexible as well. Like, you can stay on the level cap on your 2 main units and you can use them at the same time, and then you can progress on secondary units, and there you go, I killed it again. That was not supposed to happen. So we've lost roughly 3 quadrillion by killing the last 2 bosses by mistake. That is a little bit unfortunate, although I would still suspect we are close to 10 quadrillion per run. That's what you usually make for a room 98. But yeah, this run has been absolutely horrible. This is probably the worst run that I've ever had. Like, look at this, guys. Room 97, about to do run 98, and we don't even have 200 shards. That is absolutely horrible. I don't know why it's that bad, but it just is. But I would suspect that our yen is going to be around 9 to 10 quadrillion. There we go, this is the final stretch. We're just gonna solidly gold all of these before we lose. I don't think we're gonna kill this one in time though. Unfortunately, he has way too much HP. And there you have it, guys. This is the end screen, 28 minutes, 28 seconds. Now, this is the absolute worst run I could have possibly had. Like, this one should have been probably around 11 to 12 quintillion had I done the solid golds right. And this is the lowest that you could possibly get for this room. Like, carrying over 6 solid golds, 6 collectors to room 84, and then just getting bad room after bad room, so 190 drops. And that's kind of how your average run should look at this point. Now, it's gonna take a little bit more than that to push over to room 100 alone, and I would suspect in about a week from now we should be able to do that. So for now, we're just gonna head over back to our incubators and we're gonna punch our units inside again. We need to put it 1 day, and Slayer Corpse for our Clarent for 1 day as well. That's pretty much it. But anyway, guys, that was pretty much all I want to show you about the video. I just want to show you what 1 trillion DPS can actually do and how your team should fare at this point in time. As always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to click that like and subscribe button down below. It helps me out a lot. Make sure to click the notification bell as well to not miss any of the future uploads. And until the next one, take care.